Thank you for watching our video and visiting our channel. Let's get into today's context. Today we're going to speak about a favorite topic, which is whether choose an automatic transmission or a manual transmission. So we're going to see what are the types of transmission, what are the pros and cons of each, and we let you, our viewers, decide what is best for you. Let's see what are the type of transmission, automatic transmission that's available in India. So first, or the simplest one, is the automatic manual transmission called as AMT. A lot of Maruti Suzuki cars uses it. And the second is also a very simple technology called CVT, continuous variable transmission. So this is the transmission that's also used in your scooters. It's a belt-driven system. And the next is dual clutch transmission. This is a transmission used in high-end cars, which is more connected to better performance and smoother power delivery. The time-tested one, the one that has been used traditionally, are the torque converter transmissions. I'm not going to speak much about what are the transmission, how they work, and things like that. Just pros and cons of each of these transmissions, and what do you want to choose. So that's what we're going to speak about today. So overall, we have seen what are the types of transmission. So keeping things very generic, we're just going to see what are the pros and cons of it. So the first pro is, most of you would agree to this point. First and foremost is comfort, the ease of driving, especially in city traffic, and smoother drive. So especially for newer drivers who always feel shifting a gear, especially at the start, right? Starting the vehicle from a standstill always ensure that they have jerky starts. With a manual transmission, with automatic, they are much more smoother. The gear shifts are a seamless transition from gears to gears. So comfort for sure, especially if you're going to climb up an incline uphill. It's always easier to drive an automatic transmission. It's also safer for the engine. When I say safer, because you're not changing the gears, the machine is doing that. There's a less chance of a human error. For example, when I say human errors, using the wrong gears, releasing the clutch too fast or too slow, which both can wear out your transmission and drivetrain. Not just that, misshifts and revving the car too much. Right? So these all can damage your engines. So having an auto transmission will prevent these failures, which is predominantly human errors. And if you're going to have high-end gearboxes like the dual clutch automatic transmission, so you're going to not just get comfort but also quicker shift, because it's a robot that's shifting. When I say robot, it's just the actuators and the computers. So there's obviously faster than humans, so you'll have lightning speed shifts. So these are the pros that we have thought of. The cons is a longer list, but it's all up to you. The cons of automatic transmission: first, they are expensive than normal manual transmission. They have limited lifespan. So if an automatic transmission fails, you have to change the whole transmission. It's not easily repairable. If it's going to be a manual transmission, you can just change the clutch and you'll be having almost a new transmission. So here it's irreparable, and because there's a lot of slippage and it's automatically controlled by a computer, there's a lot of electronics inside the auto box, and in case if you're in a place where there's a lot of humidity and you're driving through wet stagnated water, there can also be a lot of water damages that could happen to the automatic transmission. Automatic transmission generally, especially with the high mileage cars, there's a lot of negotiation, and the resale value is always lesser. Low fuel economy, everything set aside no matter what transmission you have. An auto box versus an efficiently driven manual, I think auto box will always have lesser fuel economy than an efficiently driven manual transmission. And because it's the computer that's doing it based on the engine RPM alone, you would need power on demand, right? Unless you have paddle shifters, you will have sudden upshifts and downshifts, which is a erratic RPM selection, which would decrease your confidence during overtakes. So that's another issue. Having an automatic transmission prevents you or takes away the advantage of using engine as a brake, engine braking, where you downshift to reduce your engine power, or downshift to ensure that you have more traction during your braking, right? So that's a significant disadvantages. And higher service intervals, so you need to service your automatic transmissions as well, and it's not cheap to service your transmission boxes, automatic transmission boxes. So these are the pros and cons. Let's get into manual. So let's get into the pros of manual transmission. So first and foremost is my favorite point: you are in control. No matter what the situation is, you are in control over the gearbox, over the whole car. You can always downshift. Having a perfect engine braking will make your wheels move in tandem, and you will have effective braking. Gearbox can last a lifetime of your car, just with clutch replacements maybe every 60,000 to 1 lakh kilometers. Just change your clutches and change your gearbox engine oil every maybe about 1 lakh kilometers. No matter what the manufacturer says, you need to change your gearbox oil. It's cheaper to change your oil than changing your transmission. So let either be automatic transmission or manual transmission. It's always recommended to change your gearbox oil, irrespective of what manufacturer says. Better fuel economy, as I said earlier, manual has better fuel economy. In case of any issues, it's easy to open, easy to fix. Anyone who is well versed in working with transmissions can fix your car very easily. Cons: discomfort, frequent clutching, frequent gear shifting, and city traffic becomes a little irritating now and then. So that's the first con. Second, in manuals, there's a lot of mistakes that could happen. Clutch slippage, pressing the clutch for a longer period, pressing the clutch for a very short period, misshifts, shifting at very high RPM. So these can damage your engine as well. So that is in case if you're an inexperienced driver or you're driving somebody else's car and you're engaging it in a different tandem, then you're going to have an issue. Worn clutch pedal, for example, your clutch pedal is getting worn off, there'll be a progressive failure, right? So in case if your clutch is getting worn, you plan to change it in 1 lakh kilometers. So your clutch pedal might get hard at 80,000 kilometers. So the 10,000 kilometers or so, it's just a approximate figure I'm putting it to. The 10,000 kilometers you would need to deal with a stiff clutch. So if it's me, I will just change the clutch. But if you want to live up to the 1 lakh kilometers mark, then you'll be using a one-off clutch system. So you'll have a progressive failure, which an automatic will not have. So these are the pros and cons. So you decide. So my choice, if you're going to drive a lot of city traffic, drive in a lot of city traffic, and you don't care about fuel economy, or you know what you're getting into. So if that's the case and you do not keep your car for a very long while, so use it for about 3-5 years and dispose the car, or buy a new car, I think automatic is for you. If you're like me, who wants to be in charge, don't mind shifting frequently, and you keep your car for a very long period, so maybe about 10 years, 20 years, manual is the way to go. So think about it and take your call, and all the best to you in the next purchase. Thanks for watching our channel. Stay in for much more content. Like, share, subscribe this video, and hoping to see you soon in the next episode.